Good morning, respected principal, Mrs. Jyoti, our guest of the day, Mr. Tony B. Francis, other distinguished guests, my colleagues, and my dear students. English Season is a series that focuses on how to deal with the English language in an effective way. It's a program to enhance the students' English language skills. The program is structured to enrich students' vocabulary, to develop their communication skills, creativity, and fluency in English language. All the three previous editions of English Season were endowed by the presence of renowned and celebrated resource persons. Our learners found all the activities interesting as well as enriching. Season 4 is fortunate to have a set of resource persons who are recognized and illustrious in their respective fields. An industrious and prolific historical fiction writer whose career in media and broadcasting spans over 20 years is the Chief Revenue Officer at Matrix Publications, Bangalore. An illustrious career in the Indian radio industry, who, to his credit, launched India's first 24 hours private FM radio station in 2001. He could lead the super hits 93.5 Red FM Bangalore to fetch its goal at the New York Festival International Radio Awards, where he adorned the position of General Manager and Station Director. A recipient of the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, author of The Autograph Seeker, is a sought-after speaker on media and broadcasting, impactful storytelling, and effective communication for leaders. I'm really honored to welcome Mr. Tony B. Francis, an alumnus of St. Xavier's College, Calcutta, IIM Bangalore, and Alliance Business Academy, to Dayapuram for sharing his insightful thoughts on creative writing. Students, with virtual applause and bouquet, I do invite you, sir, to take over the session.
Thank you, Manju ma'am. Thank you so much for the warm introduction in the morning itself. And so happy to see a whole lot of you on screen. Most importantly, what I'm used to, blank screens, but I see a lot of students actually putting up your screens, which is fantastic. Thank you so much. I had a presentation in mind to put, but I'm just trying to see if I can avoid that in some way to make it as engaging as possible. Sound check and video check. You guys can see me and hear me, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Brilliant, brilliant. While I've been brought in, it's not just English, because storytelling and writing is beyond that. If you have a story, it doesn't matter how flowery your language, etc. is. All that matters is, can you put down a story? Can it be engaging? Can people get something from it? So this 1 hour session is more about sharing notes with my credentials as an author. So I shall begin by asking a couple of questions to begin with. How many of you, you can just unmute and answer that for me. How many of you have thought of writing a book, a story, a poem? Thought. Just say yes, putting up you thought of writing a book or a story or a novel, etc. Mayokha, I can see you say, okay, I can see Fidal who's put his hand up. Okay, Minha has put her hand. So I see a few of you all. Very good. So you all have thought of writing a story or a book or a poem. How many of you all have actually written a story, book, poem, etc.? Written. Now I'm talking about writing. Vismaya, Nived, Devapriya, Manoj. Fantastic. A host of you have written. How many of you have actually published it? That means it has come in the form of a, let's say, a newsletter or a college magazine or a book maybe, or a novel published. Any hands? I don't see any so far. Nope. A lot of you all are still off camera. Please put on your cameras if you can. Okay. So let me just give you some basic numbers. So the moment I hear you answer me is when I would feel very happy that someone's listening in. Some basic numbers. For every 10,000 books written, one gets published. Clear? For every 10,000 books that get published, one makes it to, the perhaps the bookstores and other places. Not necessarily that it has to, go to a bookstore. For every 10,000 books that get published and reaches the bookstore, one becomes a bestseller. So writing, publishing, etc., is just like Olympics, sports, cricket. It has its own path of writing, and that's what my real theme is. Uh, my first thought that I want to introduce you to is why write in the first place? Yeah, why write? Can I ask a couple of questions over here? Number one, what comes to your mind? Okay. Or shout out the name that comes to your mind when I say the following. King of romance. Unmute yourself, please, and tell me what comes to your mind when I say king of romance. Jasim, unmute yourself and tell me what comes to your mind when I say king of romance. Or who comes to your mind? Hey guys, don't be so shy. You guys are not. I want enthusiasm over here. Minha, what comes to your mind when I say king of romance? Anybody? This is horrible. The answer is Shah Rukh Khan. Makes sense? Mayoka is saying, correct, Shah Rukh Khan. Correct. Okay. I want answers, okay, guys? If I say Indian young fiction writer of romance, who comes to your mind? Please participate, guys. I want answers. Go unmute and tell me what comes to your mind. Young fiction writer of romance. Chetan Bhagat comes to your mind? Manjuma, you can also answer if you want. It's fine.
Yes, Chetan Bhagat.
Chetan Bhagat. Okay. Now it's got to get another one. People's president. Simple one, yeah, guys.
APJ.
People's president. Yes, APJ Abdul Kalam. Students, are you shy or you don't want to answer it? I'm sure some of these are simple ones. Okay, let me try and make it a little more familiar over here. Malayali actor, fashion icon, auto enthusiast from a superstar family. I can't hear you, Mayuka. Dulquer Salman, absolutely. This is made specifically for you guys in the audience. What about a gossip show host? Gossip show host. Karan Johar. Yeah. Okay. Somewhere I could not get too many answers from you all. So I just hope that as the session progresses, I will get more of that from you. It'll only encourage. So why did I give all these names over here? In fact, there are more. If I ask you who's India's best known heart surgeon, yeah, the answer would be who? India's best heart surgeon? Dr. Devi Shetty. Yeah. If I say low cost sanitary pads, it would be Arunachal and Muruganathan. So each of these names I have given you are people you associate them for certain reasons. If I say helicopter shot, you will say MS Dhoni. The reason why I brought all this in is because the fact of why, right? Now, all these individuals who I spoke about have always done something to be heard, known and remembered. Yeah. Most importantly. There is also something common between all of them. Okay. And it is this. They all are stars in their individual profession. And they are stars for a certain reason. And I'll come to that. They all come in an intersection of personality, publicity, and knowledge. Okay. What is knowledge? Now, there is someone like somebody who knows everything about a subject. He could be a history specialist. He could know everything about history. He has knowledge, but cannot talk about it. Yeah, he can't express or she can't express in a certain way. So the person has knowledge, but not personality. So remember three things: knowledge, personality, publicity. The personality is there. That means I can speak very well, I can talk, I can do this and that, but no knowledge. Clear so far? There's a third element. So the person has got knowledge. The person can also speak very, very well or put it across. What is missing is the publicity factor: knowledge, personality, publicity. And if you have all three, is when you become that star. Now, all these individuals have that part in common. They're all very good with their tasks. Yeah, great actors, directors, gossip columnists, shows, doctors. Remember, I mentioned about that. They invent certain things, but the reason all of them are known for what they do is because they're in the intersection of knowledge, personality, publicity. That means they are heard, known, and remembered. And that's the objective of me talking to you also. The faster you get that into your mind, everything that you do, yeah, will be directed towards something. What is also common between all these individuals are that, and these are a couple of things that I want to share with you over here. They're producers. What do I mean by producers? Producers of what? Can somebody answer for me? They're producers. What do you mean producers? Yasin, I can't hear you. You have to go unmute. Yasin, go unmute. Only the moderator can unmute, is it?
Excuse me, sir, they can put it on their chats. They can't unmute themselves. So let them put in the chats.
Put on the chat itself.
Yes.
Okay, okay. There's no facility where some of them can speak to me and talk to me. It would be, oh, I can see the chat now. Okay, now it's making sense. Now it's all making sense. Yeah, producer of what? They're all producers. Producers of what? I'll tell you, content. They all produce content. That means all these people who I have put down and I gave examples of are actually people who write certain things about what they do. They go and talk in different forums about what they do. Yeah, they produce content. They're producers of content, which is why they're known uh, in as masters of their industry. So that's one thing. Second thing is that appearance is everything, so they appear. So these are individuals who are not just good in their craft, but they're also appearing in different forums and talking about it. Are you seeing a theme over here? So I'm an author. I'm also already a professional, but also I'm coming over here and talking about it. And this is a very distinguishing factor. Just remember these. We are a producer and appearance is everything, so appear. They also champion a cause. Yeah. So if it is an actor, he says, I do this not just to earn money, but also to be loved. That's what Shahrukh Khan says. Arunachalam Muruganathan says that I'm making these low cost sanitary napkins or pads so that it is to help the community. It's for a cause, to make it as easy for access to everybody for that matter. People's president like Abdul Kalam says that I do what I do. That means, and that's what he did in his lifetime, going to so many colleges and institutions and talking, is because I know that I have made 18 million youth, and all of them want to be unique, and therefore I want to facilitate that bit. So all of them do it for a cause. Remember. So anything that you do, remember in these aspects of it. They develop a public title, which is what I said: King of Romance, low cost napkins, the best heart surgery in India, etc. And most importantly, one thing is common about them is they have high impact communication. High impact communication, and that's their biggest strength. When they communicate, yeah, it affects lives, it penetrates, and it's high impact communication. So, with your permission, what is high impact communication? Can I tell you a narrate a story for you all in some way? How many yeses? How many thumbs ups? Oh, great. Fantastic. So be prepared to be entertained because uh, in the story, I want you all to go beyond the story. I want you all to see names that are coming in the story. I want you all to see patterns over there, the highs and lows of it. Yeah, inflection. Is there a theme to the story? That's what I want you all to observe as I narrate the story of uh, uh, how do I call it? What do you call banana in Malayalam? Param, ale? Param, correct? Banana. Yeah. So the story of the banana man or the param man, okay, or Etika param. Yeah, Etika param. That's what will try and do. So just to tell you all, I grew up in Calcutta. I'm a Malayali. My parents are from Todupura. Now my of course they are still in Kochi right now, so I keep traveling from Bangalore. So I will use bit of Malayalam whenever there are possibilities over there to make it as engaging as possible, assuming everybody knows the language. But to begin with, the story of the banana man. His name is Dasan. Okay, so Dasan discovers a brand new fruit called the banana, and Dasan is very excited. He says, "Wow, I've got this beautiful fruit called banana. I'm going to go and make it a super hit. Go and sell it to everybody who I know, go house to house and tell them what a great fruit this is. It's called vitamin A, B, C, D, P." And so early in the morning, just like on a Tuesday morning like this, uh, it must be about 4:30 in the morning. He goes to the first house and he knocks. Yeah, and this door opens. Okay, a boy just like Yasin, he just opens the door and says, "Yes, what do you want?" Dasan says, "Sir, my name is Dasan. I've got a brand new fruit called the banana. It's got." Yasin says, "Are you mad? I am from there, Dayapuram college. I've got an assignment to do." And remember, Yasin is, he's this very thin chap. Okay, this first door is not Yasin actually, but somebody like Yasin only, but extremely thin. He's wearing this Amul macho banyan, only half pants, bum chums, half pant. He says, what is wrong with you? Are you mad? It is 4 in the morning. I've got assignments to do. You get out. And he pushes Dasan out of the door and he shuts the door. Now, Yasin is wondering what happened. I mean, I thought this was exciting. The entire world will jump to my Etekaparam and love it and take it. But he says, okay, doesn't matter. Yeah? That first fellow in that Amul Macho Benny, and how does it care? How does it matter? I am enthusiastic. I know I've got a great product. I'm going to the next house and sell it. So he goes to door number 2, walks and knocks. This man opens the door. Yeah, he looks at him. He's got these glasses on and says, "What do you want?" He says, "Sir, my name is Dasan. I've got this brand new fruit called the Etika Param. It's got vitamin A, B, C, D, P. It's going to make you as handsome as Ashwarya Rai. Allah, Dulka Salman." He says, "Asha, what is it?" "Okay, show me what it is." He gives the banana to door number 2, yeah, with these glasses on, and says, "Sir, take this. I will explain to you how to have it." And as Dasan is about to peel the banana, this man with glasses on, he bites the banana with the peel. He spits it out. He holds Dasan's collar and says, "Are you trying to kill me? What is this nonsense?" And he pushes Dasan out of the door again and shuts the door. Now, this time, Dasan's confidence is shaking. He's like wondering what is happening. Door number 1, that fellow with that Amul Macho banyan, or he threw me out. Door number 2 did not even listen to me. He bites it with the cover and then he throws me out. Do I even find or will I even taste success? Now he's wondering. He's having doubts. He says, "No, I will go to one more house. And this time he goes to house number 3 and he knocks. His head is a little down, eyes are shut, and when he opens his eyes as the door opens, he sees a beautiful young lady in a white sari, curly hair, freshly bathed with water dripping from her forehead, yeah, with a sindoor on her head. And Dasan says, Madam. And she says, Yes. Dasan says, Madam. She says, Yes. Dasan says, Madam. And she says, Yes, yes, Madam. My name is Dasan. I've got this brand new fruit called the Etakaparam. It's got vitamin A, B, C, D, P. It's going to make you as beautiful as you yourself, Madam. Deepika Padukone is nothing as beautiful as you. Nasriya will be nowhere. Check this out. She says, really, what is it? Show me. And so she takes out the banana and gives it to this lady. And she says, how do you have it, Dasan? And by the way, what does Dasan mean? Lover boy, madam, lover boy. Oh, lover boy. Acha, acha. Excellent, excellent. She says, okay, how do you have it? But it's very, very simple. You take the first layer. She says, okay, takes the first layer. And then the second layer. Second layer, excellent. Right that time, a voice comes from inside the house. Hello, hello, where are you? Evadana? Hello. The lady is little, madam, a husband. He has to go to office. Carry on. And then the third layer. Okay. Hello. I have to go to office. If you don't come inside, I will come outside. Comes the voice from inside. The lady says, you see, that guy only threatens, but doesn't nothing anyways. But the problem is he has to go to office and Mr. Dasan, can we do another time? And with that, she inverts the banana, gives it back to Dasan, and slowly closes the door. Dasan's heart is nearly broken. He thinks, house number 1, house number 2, no. House number 3 nearly purchased, but no. And therefore, with a heavy heart, he decides that I think I should give up. No use. I may have a great product, but no use. And he sits over there outside door number 3, wondering, is it really worth it? And that's when that moment he says, no, one more house. And therefore, he goes across, goes to house number 4 as his last house, and he knocks. Again, his head is down. And as the door opens and his head goes up, he sees a big stomach. He looks up further. He sees this very tall, army looking man with a pipe in his mouth, a hunter cap. And the man is saying, yes, what do you want? Dasan says, sir, my name is Dasan. I have got a product called Brana. A, B, P, C, D, E. Show me, the man says. Dasan takes out the banana and gives it to him. What is it called again? Sir, Etika Param. Etika Param. How do you have it? Dasan says, sir, it's simple. You peel the first layer. All right. And the second. All right. And the third. And the fourth. Okay. And you have it, sir. The man looks at it, brings it to his mouth, and then stops. No. You have it. Dasan takes it to his mouth and he bites it. And he says, Etika Param. Meanwhile, the man also comes and brings it to his mouth, bites it, and says, Etika Param. Next thing you know, he's calling his friends, relatives, neighbors, everyone. All of them are coming to the house and they're all given one banana each. The entire bag full of bananas are out and each of them bite and says, I wish I could hear you. Etika Param. That is the end of the story. Okay. Now it's question time. Okay, you can put it on your chat. Couple of questions to begin with. What was house number 1 wearing? The man in house number 1, what was he wearing? Please write down on the chats. I want to see. Amul something. Okay. Amul macho banyan. It's like Ramaraj in Kerala. Similarly, Amul macho banyan. Absolutely. Very, very good. House number 2, what was peculiar about that person? What was house number 2 wearing? Glasses. Excellent. Excellent. Uh, can some of us describe house number 3, the lady, the sari that she wore, the color of her sari? Just describe the lady. White sari. Okay. White sari, curly hair, very nice. Beautiful, someone says. Rida says, very good. Young, not glasses for sure. With sindoor, excellent. Nice, nice, very nice. White sari with curly hair and sindoor on her head. Very nice. Excellent, absolutely. Water dripping from her hair. I love that. Shraddha Vinod said, water dripping from her hair. Excellent, lovely. Beautiful. Now I will go to the part. Okay, this is great. So clearly, if I have to describe that bit, in each of these characters, I gave them special traits. Yeah, it is a 7-minute, 10-minute story, but in that 10 minutes, I gave them different houses, different personalities. Instead of giving them names as such, I gave them characterizations. Like what they were wearing, the curly hair. Nija, Fatima, you want to have a question? Yeah, I think there was a hand up. Yeah, that was that. I gave them each of them characters. Remember, okay, house number 4. How did house number 4 look? Big stomach, absolutely. So clearly he was tall. My description is that as he looks, the person is very, very tall. I didn't say he was a tall person. Did I say that? No, no. I said the person was, first I see the stomach, then he looks up and then he sees the entire man. He's got a pipe in his mouth, he's got a big belly, he's got a cap. So you're obviously looking at a very strict person. So you're not saying the person is tall and old. You're saying he looks like a strict person by describing in many, many ways. So are you getting the craft of it also? So when you're writing, this is what you do. See it as a person. Why do I say this? Because I am from a radio background. I used to run a radio station called Red FM in Bangalore. So you can't see the RJ, correct? You can only hear it. So the RJ has to speak in a language where the person feels as if the RJ is sitting next to you in the car or next to you in the bus. And therefore, language. Remember, I'm talking about high impact communication. What are you saying? How are you describing? Macho fellow, thin chap in a macho, Amul macho banyan, curly hair, dripping with a sindoor, etc. So married, because remember, the person is married. Why am I saying sindoor? There's a connection. Because at some point, her husband also is coming. So every time that anything is put, anything that you describe has to have some reason for it. That means if you're reading a book and they say, you know what, this cat had a big gun in her house, the gun has to fire at some point. Similarly, the moment I said Sindoor, at some point there should be a link, which is what the husband saying, hello, where are you coming, etc., etc. Voice modulation was, there were pauses. This is what I gave as from the story point of view. Second is that whenever a story starts, the setting is always normal. He is happy, he's positive, he wants to sell something, everything is going. Typically, in any story, things become bad, badder. There's a word called badder. It gets worse. So, what was happening? House number 1, things go wrong. House number 2, it gets worse. House number 3, you think something is going to happen. Yes, she's going to have it. She's going to eat it. And then stop. No use. Your heart gets broken. You feel for the character. Are you with me so far, you guys? Just shake your head if you're with me. Yeah. And then when all hope is lost, finally there's this moment of respite. Someone who you feel will not buy it ultimately lands up buying it, talking about it, and there's a victory involved in that. Okay. That is from the storytelling point of view. Now tell me, what does this banana mean, if I may ask you? You can type it out. What does it mean? What does it symbolize? Yeah, what's the message? A fruit? No. Content? No. It could be anything. Yeah, it could be your idea, your that brilliant thing that you want to go and give it. And that I'm trying to say that here's a banana. Here's an idea that you've got, art or anything, and you want to go and tell people that I've discovered something. Yeah, I've got this great idea, a great thing, an opportunity to get in life. And I go to house number one, who doesn't even listen to me. No matter your idea may be great, but I'm not interested yet. Forget it. That's house number one. You have a great idea, you go to house number two, the person takes it, does not know how to use it, and then blames you for it. You remember he bit it with the cover, correct? With the peel. House number three is somebody who you go to with the idea or your your talent, etc. And the person says, "Yeah, yeah, very good. But you know what? I'm very busy with time." The person is so busy that does not have time to listen to it or utilize or take it forward. House number is four is somebody who likes the idea, takes it, accepts it, and then tells the world that, "Wow, you know what? I found something great." Who becomes a champion? That's what the story really means. So I gave you in two portions what the banana story stands for. Now I will move on to a session where uh, we now hack, yeah, the process of writing. Yeah, I'll come back to the banana story a little later, but now I will move into the next session over the next half an hour on the process of writing. With me? Yeah, I'll move. Unless you have any question on the banana part of it, let me know right now, or I will move. Yeah. Okay. Who can see? Okay. Yeah. Right. The process of writing. The first one, I told you why write. Yeah. Now I'm telling you how to write. The first thing when you begin, when you're writing, is to write for yourself. Yeah, don't write because you know what today this friend of mine in the journal wrote something on science fiction and metaverse or whatever, and therefore I also want to write on that. No, write for yourself, because if nobody else in the world likes your writing, there'll be one person in the world who will like it. Who's that? You. Absolutely. So remember yourself, absolutely. So remember, if you're starting up, don't do it for the sake of it. Do want on topics that you feel for, whether it's storytelling, speeches, etc. Anything that you feel connected with is when the best thing comes out. So the first principle of writing is write for yourself. That's exactly what I did. In fact, as I move on, I'll probably tell you more about it. The second thing is that find a unique story. And this is when I want to bring in my own. Remember, write for yourself. Second is find a unique story. I want to bring in my own book for that matter. For the longest time, my habit of writing began with a diary. So today I know exactly how I felt when I was writing for my class 10 exams. What were my insecurities, what were my worries. All that began with diary writing. So I began with diaries, lots of spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, but doesn't matter. I'm very proud that I have those diaries because I can go through and understand how a 13 or 14 or 15-year-old felt. So began with that bit. Then the next journey was as a Toastmaster. That means in public speaking, we have to make these 7-minute speeches. So that was the next habit. Lots of letters. You all obviously have WhatsApps and before that SMSs and mails, etc. My life began with letters. So I would keep writing letters, not for anybody else, just to capture what happened during the day, show off, and tell my mom, friends who were in different parts of the country that is what happened. So writing letters was another way of doing it. Three was, as I mentioned, Toastmasters, and four, of course, novel writing. So when I began to capture, so how did it begin? It began with something called the first day cover. So my school had turned 125 years in 1983-84, and the Indian Postal Department came with a postal cover. It's called a FDC, first day cover. That first day cover will have the stamp of the school and a theme of the school. Now I was wondering, uh, when I saw that first day cover, that building did not look like my school at all, which is St. Xavier's, Calcutta. It looked like something else. Many years later, when I went back to that FTC, I realized that my school actually was a theater, which then by the 1900s was broken down and the new structure came up. But before that, remember, it was a theater, and that when it closed down became a school. I went further to find a unique story. That's when I realized that there was an actress called Esther Leach during the British era who used to act over there, and her dress caught fire and she burnt on stage, which I thought was very dramatic. Then I realized that she had a daughter also who played and she did a play called Othello, and on stage, playing Othello was an Indian actor, which is very difficult at that time. During the British time, even actors were British. They would paint their face black and do it. That discovery made me realize that I want to write a story. Since I discovered that, so as I said, find a unique story. That coupled with the story of a schoolboy and a girl who can't speak, brought these two together, and that's how the book called The Autograph Seeker came into being. So a combination of two things: one, the story I discovered of my school, and two, my own life in school in different ways. So the boy is not necessarily myself only; it's a combination of so many friends of mine who were there, who were characters in different ways. The mute girl was because I used to see there should be a basketball practice happening in my school, because the school allowed the deaf and mute school to come and have their students play. And I remember seeing this very beautiful girl playing basketball with a ponytail, and she can't speak. So I'm wondering, what if she became my friend? How will I communicate with her? Now, all these are experiences that happened many years ago. Bringing that together, that's what I'm saying, finding a unique story. And that is what I mean. Find that unique story. It can come from anywhere, from your own life, from other places. So rule number one, write for yourself. Two, find a unique story. Three is something called the log line. So when you begin writing, even if it's a small book, a small story, try and see if there's a log line that you can have. Now I will describe the log line of a movie. Tell me what is the name of the movie. Okay, let's see if you can guess. Romeo and Juliet on the ill-fated ship Titanic. Which movie am I talking about? Romeo and Juliet on the ill-fated ship Titanic. Absolutely, that's the name of the movie. Titanic. Yeah. So in one sentence, it describes the entire story. Okay. Lion cub and future king Simba searches for his identity. His eagerness to please others and penchant for testing his boundaries sometimes gets him into trouble. The Lion King. Absolutely. So I guess you guys are familiar with these movies. This is a little older one. The aging patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control of his clandestine empire to his reluctant son. It's a little more difficult out of the bit. It's a movie called The Godfather. It's a classic, may not be. I'm being a little thing. So what am I doing? I'm just trying to reduce everything into one line or two lines. To try and do that, so that if you are pitching it to somebody, let's say the editor of your school magazine, college magazine, or a publisher, you try and put a log line to it. So my log line is the story of a schoolboy in Calcutta who, against all odds, puts up a story on the history of his school. Yeah, the story features the love child of a married English woman and an Indian actor on the Sanssouci theater. To help him in the story is a girl who cannot speak, but who will leave him forever. Little longish, but it captures that essence. So it's discovery of something. The characters are there; they all in that log line. So try and create a log line which would help the cross. This principle is called trust and embrace your own natural ability. In fact, before I go there, I also want to give you a small exercise on how to forcefully come up with stories. Sometimes you will think, what story? I can't think of a story. Where do I come up with, etc., etc. So here's an exercise that you can do, and which is exciting. Take three sheets of paper. Yeah. On paper one, write people. Okay. Paper two, place. Paper three, things. Clear so far? People, place, thing. Then write down in people, priest, baker, right? Professions, okay, of people, professions, priest, baker, carpenter, assassin, school teacher, principal, etc. Write these professions of people in the people place, people thing. In the place, write things like airport, railway station, classroom, uh, what else? Church, mosque, temple, different places. Yeah. In thing, you write things like rope, knife, kite, what else? Rifle, um, things that you possibly have. Glasses, ink bottle. Put those things down over there. Okay. Then you cut these papers into chits and put it into three different buckets. People, place, thing buckets. Clear? After that, like a lottery, take out one chit from people, and the chit says priest. Put it over there, priest. Take out a chit from place, airport. Put airport over there. So priest, airport. Take out one chit from thing. It comes rifle, or not rifle, pistol. Yeah, put pistol over there. So now you've got airport, priest, and pistol. Write a story in half an hour of a priest in an airport with a pistol. Suddenly, it's interesting. It's time bound. When you're under pressure to write a story, you're under pressure. You write down things faster. Do these exercises every day, one story at a time. Believe me, by the end of 1 month, you will have a short story novel. It may be great, okay, etc., but at least you have a first cut. And when you are under pressure for time, that in half an hour or 1 hour, okay, 1 hour, I'm going to write a story on a priest with a pistol at the airport. I don't care about anything else. This is what I'm forced to. See how beautifully stories come out. You will push yourself, you'll give the priest a name, you will think differently also. The priest may not be a priest, it may be, a guy who's dressed up like a priest. That pistol may be a toy pistol, it may be a real pistol. Somebody's forcing you to do it, but you're thinking linear. You're forcing. You're like, how do I bring that up? Why the airport in the first place? Yeah, is he conned into it? Is something that he's afraid of, that he has to? All that will come together. And when it is just 1 hour that you have got time, you're forced to put whatever thoughts are coming down into that story. Then you can rewrite it, re-edit it. So remember, suddenly you have a story in hand. So yeah, logline is one bit. The next principle I want to bring is trust and embrace your natural ability. Trust and embrace your natural ability. That means use pearls from your own life. Yeah. You can't manufacture things when you're writing a story. It has to come from your own life. And somewhere along the way, you can change it and twist it the way you want. Yeah. Example, in my own book, you might forget the breakfast that you had today morning if you had breakfast in the first place, but you won't forget the things that that were made me emotional, that made you feel very very happy, etc. Those are the things that you can use in your own storytelling. Yeah. Example, in my own case, I remember as a child, it was Easter, and this is a very bad example. Do not follow my example. But yeah, as a child, there was a party that happened in Hyderabad when I was taken. There was a party that was held. All my uncles were having these, very adult drinks. So I thought, how does it taste? Let me go and ask them. I went to one uncle, said, uncle, can I taste this adult drink? He said, no, okay, have one sip. I went to another uncle. Uncle, I want to taste this. He also gave me one sip. In the end, as a small child, I landed up having some 5-6 uncles who gave me 5-6 sips. So I was completely out. Yeah, that finds a place in my story where the girl's father is in a club and the boy is there, and the girl's father tells the boy that I'm taking her away. I'm going to London, and it's all over. And he feels very very sad. And as the father moves away from the table, his drink arrives, and the boy who's only in school just drinks it up, and he's completely flat in front of the mother, father, girl. He's like flat, and it's very embarrassing. It came from an example that took place many years ago. It's controversial, but it's funny. So dive into your own stories, things that made you laugh, cry, you just cheer out loud. Do that bit and use it. uh, Try a unique style. always. Yeah, in the way you write. Mine is autographs, because I've been someone who loved autographs. My book is called The Autograph Seeker, and therefore I used a lot of the autographs I collected into my story. I made it part of it. So that's a unique style. And never discard an idea. Yeah. So if you get ideas, yeah, or if you have got something, you wrote the story down of this priest in a airport with a gun, and later you say, "Yeah, this is not happening." Keep it somewhere or the other that will make sense in your later content. So whatever content that you produce, please keep it safely. Don't discard it. At some point, it can be used in other formats as well. Then there is the LCD principle. Yeah, LCD means that any story that you write, whether it's a short form, long form, chapters, etc. Remember this principle called LCD, which is laugh, cry, or dramatic. So if I write a chapter, I have to make sure that either people will laugh, the readers, they'll cry, or it is dramatic. It's compulsory that it has to happen. Uh, uh, Otherwise, it is not there. So people want to be engaged and entertained, and therefore, you should make them laugh, cry, or make it dramatic. Like I mentioned, example was very simple. As a child, something like that happened, but I wanted to make it dramatic and funny also. So here is the father announcing that I'm taking away, or even in the banana example also. Each example was dramatic. Yeah, the girl, she's doing that, and saying, "Ooh, ma'am, yes," and then disappointment. Yeah. So each door, I try to make you laugh, I try to make you cry, or make it dramatic. So here's a person, he's wondering, how can I, should I go, should I not go? Will I be able to sell? He's discouraged, his heart is broken. He looks at this wonderful looking lady who thinks. So remember, LCD principle: laugh, cry, or dramatic. Try and do that in your storytelling. Now let me just conclude the banana story. Yeah. The conclusion is very simple. I wrote this book. It had 1,10,000 words, and I'm trying to figure out who do I go to as publishers. So I went to various publishers, like House Number One, who said, "I think this is rubbish. You're, trying to, we only work with new authors, and therefore, door number one was shut." Went to door number two, which was another publisher. The person said, "This is a little off our genre. You're trying to say that the school and this illicit affair and this child, it's a big school, it's a 150-year-old school. Do you want to kind of get into this bit? I'm not sure about this genre. I think it's just not right for us." So door number two was also shut. Door number three said, "Yeah, very good, sounds good. We'll get back to you. Don't worry." It took a long time, and no one's getting back to me. I'm waiting for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 8 months. Nothing is happening. And then finally, something happened. Someone told me that Chetan Bhagat's editor is going for she's a guest of honor for a party, for a book launch of another author. Why don't you go and meet her? So I crash into somebody else's book launch. Go up to this lady. Her name is Shiny Anthony, and tell her, "Listen, Shiny, I'm an author. I want you to help me edit my book because you're so famous and you're a writer yourself." He says, "Oh God, another fellow who's come to, edit my book." He says, "Tony, my eyes are very bad. I only work for Chetan because the publisher is forcing me to do it." I said, "Shani, please, just give me this one chance. See if you can." He said, "Okay, I'll try. What I can try and do is that I will edit your synopsis. You make a synopsis, edit it, and I'll probably give you a couple of agents that you can go to." So I take a mail ID, I take a phone number, and I go home. Instead of sending the synopsis of the book, I send the entire manuscript, 1,10,000 words. In 2 days, believe me, I got a mail from her saying that, "Read it, loved it, call me." Shiny then puts me onto the publishers. The book comes out. It becomes the number 13 in the Amazon India list. It goes to Mami Film Festival. It becomes books to look out for in 2018 in Deccan Herald. It gets all these. It gets converted into an Audible version, into a Kindle version. It does exceedingly well, all because door number 4, one person trusted me. So my message was this, which I converted into a story, which is the banana story. Are you getting my point? So any story for that matter, can if you bring entertainment into the message, it reaches. You got my point. So my message was what? Never give up. door number one, door number two. So I can say that, guys, you should never give up. Whatever happens, forge ahead. But what if I bring it out in this format? So any message which carries an entertainment quotient, an entertainment value, uh, without preaching, without moralizing, it can reach hearts. Why do you think movies like Three Idiots or Five Point Someone, uh, but a whole lot of others do well? Because somewhere it carries entertainment in the message, and that's my big takeaway. So when you write, no matter how dramatic it is, try and see. And this is of course, my take, because I like that. I wanted to reach more people, not one person who understood that bit, etc. Bring that quotient, dramatize it, bring laughter, bring a bit of a tear jerk parts of it, and then suddenly you have a story which is engaging. Your format becomes more, and the message really enters in. So as I mentioned, this session is more of to tell you that these are things that I learned along the way from different people. It began very early, and it's a perfect time for you all also. When you begin something early, it frustrates later. So write. If you're putting, a social media post also, think very hard. Can I make it impactful? Yeah. For every single content piece that you're bringing out, use it as an opportunity to put things down together. Yeah. Remember, whether it's a speech that you're making, a poem that you're writing, anything for your school magazine, college magazine, social media posts, anywhere. When you're putting content, I hope it makes sense. That is my message, really. I've got about 7 minutes right now. In these 7 minutes, I'll take questions that I can ask, that I can answer for you. You can put it in a chat box, and I would be very happy to answer them.
Students, the floor is open to you.
I'm putting my mail ID down in case you guys want to be in touch later. Please let me know any questions on writing, etc. Would be very happy to engage with you. You can also catch me on my social media platforms. And the name of my book is The Autograph Seeker is the name of my book. Any questions, please? Manju, any questions from your end?
Yes, sir. Actually, your narrative style has captivated our hearts, and which is simple but profound in content.
Thank you so much. What I've given you is a little bit of what can be done. There are lots of these forceful exercises that one can do. Even if it means going to a museum, just sitting and observing people and just writing down and describing, or you look at a person or look at a painting of a person sitting and then give a backstory. If you look at his face and he looks sad, give a backstory. He's sad because he lost his job and something happened, and give a backstory. Make it interesting. Keep practicing that bit and keep writing anything that you found appealing. Write it down somewhere. There are lots of these exercises that one can do for it. Observe more. It becomes extremely interesting. Why are people doing what they are doing? Why am I laughing at this? Look at the structure. Why did I laugh? Even that banana story that I gave is that itself. Why was it funny? Why do people get names which are very different? Yeah. There is a old Malayalam movie called Narodi, and I use the name Dasan from there, Dasan and Vijayan. Why are names such as that? It can be anything, but it's memorable, it's simple. So when you name characters, also give them those memorable simple names. If you watch Three Idiots, there is uh, Vanguru, Vanchuk Wangadu, and things like that. Why are names there? Start observing. So become a student of writing, and you get answers. Any questions, really?
Sir, actually, your session made me remind the words quoted by Albert Einstein. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, and imagination encircles the world. I think your imagination must fly with wings when you are involved in the art of story writing, isn't it, sir?
Absolutely. And that's the best part of it. Um, and I think as a parting word, since there are no questions as such, my request is please engage with me. I would be very happy to in any way help in your journey as an author. Most importantly, capture these feelings that you have, because as the time goes, you will forget these. I am very fortunate and lucky that I put down my feelings into words as in the diary format and in the form of letters. In fact, I had to go and collect all the letters I sent to other people so that I know how I felt at a certain time. So whatever you feel, whether it's joy, sorrow, doubt, etc., put it down over there, because those feelings will trigger beautiful things. And when you write that down, and then somebody reads your work, they will say, "Ah, I also went through this. I also felt this. This is how I felt also. This is how I also was happy, etc." Otherwise, why would recently, so what are content people doing? I think there is a very Srinivasan movie called Hridayam which has come out. Why is it touching people's hearts? Because people have gone through it in their own lives. Yeah. So that is what you can do as a gift to the world. Put that content out. Let somebody feel happy, joyous, and say, you know what, someone like me also was there who wrote. And that's my message that I like to end today's session with. Thank you for participating. I am certain that though I cannot hear you all were engaged, I hope. And most importantly, looking forward to be in touch with all of you all via social media or through the mails. Manju ma'am, I leave the floor back to you uh,
Okay,
as a
thank
conclusion of my session. And I wish you guys luck, yeah, because you are living in a beautiful time where the opportunities are immense. You can do whatever you want to do, and you'll always find a space if you know what you want. So just keep discovering what is it that you want to really, really do, and follow that bit. You can do something which is professionally that gives you satisfaction. At the same time, follow other tasks and hobbies also. May you discover that is my wish and prayer. Back to you, Manjuna.
Thank you, sir. Fatima,
Yes, ma'am.
over to you. Unmute. Fatima.
I think she can't unmute. I think the moderator has to do that.
Yes, Vinod. Thank you, sir, for providing such an amazing session for us. This was a useful session for all of us. We are expecting more wonderful session from you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yep, hoping to be in touch with everybody. Thank you so much, the members of the Dayapuram and Manju ma'am and everyone else who made this possible. Big thank you to Ashley who got me in and let me be part of your world. So yeah, very, very excited and grateful. It's a great start to my Tuesday. And I hope to have a great day. And I'm sure all of you all will also have a great day. Take care.
Sir,
Bye-bye.
sir, official vote of thanks. Naveed, are you ready for a feedback?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So it was a great speech, I can say, or more than speech. It was great inspiration for young writers, or also in the current world, writing is also an expression, or it's how to type, how to express your feeling. So in that way also, as it's also great inspiration for newbie writers. And I as a newbie writer also, I got so much information from you. So thank you.
Thank you, Naveed. Well put. Thank you.
I invite Minha Malik to propose vote of thanks.
It is said that gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parents of all the others. It's an honor to have been asked to offer a vote of thanks on the occasion of English section in our school. On behalf of my friends, teachers, and the management group here, I express my immense gratitude to all the speakers for sharing their graceful words with us in today's session. We have been fortunate to have a renowned identity that is our chief guest, Tony V. Francis, who is novelist, media and broadcasting professional with a storied career in the Indian media industry. I'm very thankful to the entire participant as well as organizers of this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Minha. Manju ma'am, you're mute.
Yes. Thank you all. And thank you, Minha. Thank you all for joining us today for the session on creative writing or the 4th edition of English season. I hope all my students, dear students, are benefited and they will apply it to their communicative approaches. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everybody, and God bless.
Thank you once again from
Bye.
the Yapura fraternity.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.